Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode of A Dog Soul. I'm Anita, I'm a professional dog trainer and behavior consultant, and I'm your host. And today we're going to talk about antecedents. What that is, how it's helping you with your dog, and how your dog is feeling about it, we will talk about in this session. So stay tuned and have fun. Hello again. So, this is again a topic that's really important, but very often overlooked because we often just see a behavior our dogs do, and we have feelings about this behavior. Like, we find it really cute when our dogs sit on our laps and lick our face or something like that, or we don't like it when they bark at other dogs or something like that. So, what we do, or we often do, is we see a behavior and we're just asking ourselves, how can we stop that? Because we don't like it for whatever reason. And to be honest, this isn't a very long lasting method or way to go. Because if you just work on the behavior and you don't consider your dog's motivations or your dog's feelings, or yeah, just why your dog is doing this, you won't change the necessity. And that's where antecedents come into play. So, what are antecedents? It can be anything, and it's what makes your dog do stuff. So, for example, if you see your dog barking at another dog, then you have to look at the surroundings, which are your antecedents. So, how far is the other dog away? What's in the environment other than the other dog? Is there maybe a person? How is your dog feeling about persons who look like that? So, maybe your dog isn't barking at the other dog, but at the person next to the dog. How's the weather? Because your dog might be sensitive to cold or hot weather or wet weather or something like that, and is therefore a little more sensitive and reacts more easily. And of course, how is your dog feeling about other dogs in general, or about the breed that you're encountering right now, or the size or the color or something like that, and how many encounters did you have on that day until now. So maybe it's just a little overwhelming for your dog. And if you have a behavior you don't like and you consider all these antecedents or stimuli that come before the unwanted behavior, you have a lot of possibilities to tweak so your dog is more comfortable in the situation and doesn't have the necessity for the behavior. So, how can this look like? We have our dog against dog barking situation again, and you recognize that the weather's very warm and your dog isn't very comfortable in warm weather. So next time you try taking your dog out for a walk when it's cooler outside, maybe in the evening or early in the morning, whenever it's the perfect, and see if your dog still has the necessity to vocalize towards another dog. If you do this, maybe another antecedent changes as well, because you might not encounter as many dogs if you take your dog out very early in the morning, for example. So you change two antecedents at once, and maybe you meet other types of dogs on these walks. So you have the antecedent of breed, color, size changed as well. And then you can see if your dog is still reacting. If your dog is still reacting, then maybe the triggering antecedent is another dog in a specific distance. And again, you can change the antecedent and see where your dog is comfortable in the situation. So for every dog, there is a threshold when they react. And that threshold can be 20 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters, whatever. It can also be only the smell. So if you know that, you can start working with your dog in the situation, but at a point where he's still comfortable. And again, you change the antecedent and make the unwanted behavior no longer necessary, because you are increasing distance and your dog feels more comfortable. So you see, you can do a lot of things by just changing the surroundings, changing what stimuli you are encountering, and how your dog is exposed to certain things. And of course, you can do this for whatever situation you find yourself in. So this can be any fear-related behavior, it can be any aggression-related behavior, and everything else, to be honest. Because if you assess a situation very closely and you recognize which antecedents are present and which antecedents lead to the unwanted behavior, you can look at them even closer and see what can you change and what is just a given thing. Like if you live in the city and your dog's very sensitive to noise, you can't, maybe you can, but many people can't just move. So this is an antecedent that you can't change. And therefore you have to do other stuff that can make your dog more comfortable in the situation. But with a lot of behaviors, we can just change everything that's leading to the behavior and therefore make it no longer necessary for your dog. And if you're not sure on how to do this and what is there to change or what can you do to make your dog more comfortable in a certain situation or something like that, you can just get a trainer who's specialized in behavior or who's specialized in the specific behavior you have problems with, or you ask a behaviorist or a vet behaviorist who can help you with that, and he or she is gonna sit down with you and assess the situation as closely as possible and help you decide which antecedents to change, which to avoid, how you can make your dog more comfortable in the situation. Alright, this was a short one, but I think it's very important because as soon as we start just working on the behavior, it's very easy to get a little unfair to just try to suppress the behavior, and that won't change anything for the dog emotionally. So every behavior has a reason, and your dog's not doing it because he just likes it. Some things they actually do because they like it, but you can also see those when you look at the antecedents and the consequences. But that's a topic for some other time. So if you have any questions, of course, if you would like to work with me on topics like that, just write me an email, write me a WhatsApp, or whatever is comfortable for you, and we'll make an appointment to talk about these things a little more closely. Of course, I would love for you to give me some feedback on how this helped you and what topics you'd like to have discussed in the show. And I'll be happy to get to those things as well. All right. I hope you have a lot of fun assessing situations in a new and exciting kind of way, and just see what happens. Until next time. Bye.